They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way up, way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down. No, got a soul view to myself. Yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. It's my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water no bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. I had to boss them. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The stacking up losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate.
Tonight, following the announcement that 6 hostages were found dead in Gaza. One of the hostages killed Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland. His parents are originally from Chicago. Sharday Gray tells us more about the reaction to the tragedy here in Chicago.
The prospect of what happened in the last 48 hours was always front and center in our minds.
It's a reality Jewish United Fund Metropolitan Chicago president Lonnie Nassater knew could happen, but prayed it wouldn't come true. 23-year-old Hirsch Goldberg Poland and 5 other hostages were murdered by Hamas.
The harsh reality that his life was taken cruelly last night hits us as a community even more powerfully than maybe the others. While the others are equally important, this one with the Chicago connection hits really hard.
Nassater says his mother and father were Chicagoans and met here. Hirsch still has family in Chicago.
Throughout this whole ordeal, we've been really connected to the family. He still has 2 grandmothers here and aunts and uncles, and so the family is here, and we've been connecting with them all the time for the last 11 months or so.
The parents of Goldberg Poland have been among the highest profile relatives of the hostages, as they have lobbied extensively for the release of all the hostages. Hirsch's mother and father, Rachel Goldberg and John Poland, wore masking tape, changed daily with the number of days their son was in captivity. Less than 2 weeks ago, during an emotional speech at the DNC here in Chicago, detailing life without Hirsch.
Since then, we live on another planet.
On Sunday, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris personally spoke to the grieving parents. On social media, President Biden said, "I have worked tirelessly to bring their beloved Hirsch safely to them and am heartbroken by the news of his death." U.S. Senator Dick Durbin also expressed his condolences, saying, quote, A ceasefire must be reached immediately that allows all remaining hostages to be released, humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza, and an elusive and neglected long-term vision for peace and stability to become a reality.
Bring Hersh Home, an Instagram account dedicated to finding him, posted late this afternoon, saying his funeral will be held tomorrow in Jerusalem. We're told family members here from Chicago will be traveling there for the service. Reporting in the newsroom, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago.
Sade, thank you.
Boy. I'm not even gonna hit y'all with the boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Burn Live, y'all. Murray Wankley keeping y'all connected, hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers I read. Definitely keeping underage smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. I started today off with the news coverage that you just seen because this is something that I'm gonna be getting into tonight. I think it's important that I break this down. I've been getting a couple of videos, and I feel like I've been rushing through some of these stories. Plus, I've been having a lot of guests on here, and we haven't been able to break down situations and things that's really been going on. So therefore, I really want to sit here and discuss some things that actually been taking place, that's been going on. So today, decent show, hopefully 2 hours, a little bit longer, taking my time going over some of these stories and things that been coming across my news feed with everybody. Maybe some special guests will come through or some of my co-hosts will pop up, not sure. But yet again, we will be discussing things that's been going on. Yeah. So please get your blunts, get your joints, get your blunts, joints, concentrate, and all that beautiful things that you need to consider yourself a Burn Live member. And so we can get into this very expeditiously. Shout out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, Instagram, Rumble. Shout out to them. Groups for letting me go live. We're live here stream. I get to share my content with all of you guys. I do appreciate everything that's going on and everything. I do appreciate everybody stopping through. I know y'all don't have to stop through. 7 days. How you doing, sir?
What's going on with your brother?
See, every time you coming up in here, man, just you looking more professional.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to get like you, bro.
Nah, don't. Nah, I ain't gonna even make them jokes like I want to. But I did want to stop by, y'all. This is 7 days. He will be going live on her. Discussed on here before we get into deep. I did go behind the scenes and see what I have to do to make sure that you get my my platforms. So I know what we need to look for. Like I text you Tuesday, I am off. It really got me this 1 day off, go back to work 1 day off type stuff. So they kicking my ass. So I will be able to over there and get you set up, which should be
the white
easy,
man on your back.
Huh?
The white man on your back.
More like a Mexican. I wish it was the white man.
You wish it was
I wish it was so I could finally say, man, white supremacist is hitting me. Let me call HR and see if I can say something racism that's going on. It'd have been nice. Another thing that's been going on, brother, is this. You remember how a while back we had the discussion about Gaza and Israel, and you was asking me which side I should pick and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I really don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
And now I played a story earlier. I don't know if you was able to watch. Played a story earlier. A guy that's family in Chicago. They've been asking the Biden administration for years to try to release him. They said they were going to try to release him. It just came out today or yesterday. I do believe yesterday is more of the factor. that he didn't make it. I'm gonna replay this story for you to catch a lot of people up one more time.
Tens of thousands of Israelis took to the streets in grief and fury tonight following the announcement that 6 hostages were found dead in Gaza. One of the hostages killed Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland. His parents are originally from Chicago. Sharday Gray tells us more about the reaction to the tragedy here in Chicago.
The prospect of what happened in the last 48 hours was always front and center in our minds.
It's a reality Jewish United Fund Metropolitan Chicago president Lonnie Nassiter knew could happen, but prayed it wouldn't come true. 23-year-old Hirsch Goldberg Poland and 5 other hostages were murdered by Hamas.
The harsh reality that his life was taken cruelly last night hits us as a community even more powerfully than maybe the others. Well, the others are equally important. This one with the Chicago connection hits really hard.
Nassiter says his mother and father were Chicagoans and met here. Hirsch still has family in Chicago.
Throughout this whole ordeal, we've been really connected to the family. He still has 2 grandmothers here and aunts and uncles. And so
I'm gonna pause it right there. Now, this, which we didn't hear about, I promise you, we didn't hear about, but the protesters during the DNC was protesting over this guy right here. Well, not technically him. Let's put his picture up there. Over these guys that are Hamas, but they're still American citizens. They protested real heavily outside of DNC. Some people broke the barricade. I think it was like 16 people got locked up or something like that. But this, people like keep coming to me like, oh my God, you think Harris is going to win? Harris is going to win. I'll be like, Harris will win, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take this down now. I believe Harris will win if they did not have all this other distractions on the side with the Gaza war. With I heard San Francisco got a problem where we got off and we was talking about reparations. I think I sent you the video. Of that. But yeah, so basically, go ahead. Yeah, I did send it to you. I sent it to you.
No, I was just saying that a reparation. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes I'll be doing.
Is it like a delay?
And you freezing up just a little bit. Your place must be padded. Real good and padded.
No.
The speaker needs to bring the bills up now. These are their bills. They have their names on the bills. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Now, listen, they gonna see this and they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills, then they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Okay? We don't care.
We need to
Bring the goddamn bills up now.
The governor needs to understand that the world is watching California, and this is going to have a direct impact on your friend Kamala Harris, who's running for president. This is going to have a direct impact. So pull up the bills now, vote on them, and sign them.
We have
We've
the
been
votes.
waiting for over 400 years.
That part right there gets me every time. We've been waiting over 400 years. Girl, you don't even live 100 years. How have you been waiting over 400 years?
What she say she waiting
Funny
on?
to
What
me.
she say she waiting on?
Your favorite word?
What she say she waiting on?
Reparations?
What's my favorite word? Efficient?
Huh? She waiting on the reparations. California and Chicago are the 2 states that are trying to get reparations real bad.
familiar with the demands.
I think you know why I'm here.
That's
why I'm always coming. Where's the money?
Say that one more time.
I said I need to move back to Cali.
Just have your address out there. You ain't technically got to move all the way back out there. If you have your address out there, anything that passes out there that benefits you, you'll still be taking advantage of. I know people right now, I'm not going to put them out on blast, but they live out here in Nevada and they still got addresses. They still got mail in their names getting sent to Cali. So therefore, they still can go back to Cali and still do their thing and still reap the benefits. So to play this, so y'all can get a better understanding.
Where's the cash? Where's the check? Don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. $5 million. San Francisco's already made a move. $5 million is nothing. And I'll tell you why. If they spread it over 50 years, that's $100,000 a year, and you're in the top tax bracket, 35% Fed, 16.8 California, you'll be lucky if you end up with $40,000 a year. We need to do this. We need to get the money. Where's the money? Let's get the money now. $223,000 for housing is not enough. We're looking at just the redlining. There's predatory lending. If you're African American, chances are you're paying more on your mortgage for the same amount of money as somebody else. And that's not right. So let's get the money. Where's the money?
Okay, so we know that the Black Democrats.
Shout out to Black Conservative Perspective. I just want to play this part.
Pick it up. We're currently not on that item. We're currently working on the concurrence list.
So will we be getting to that item?
Well, we're currently working on the concurrence list at the moment.
Well, I'll make a motion that we take it up now.
Is there, Mr. Asali is asking to suspend the rules to take it up. Is there a second? No second motion.
Second.
Was there a second? Nope. There's no motion. We're going to go ahead and move to item number 109, AB 544.
Yeah, so optically speaking, this looks real bad, right? You have Democrats.
Not the one I wanted to play. Yeah, this the one I wanted to play. Right here. I want y'all to listen to
there. All right, Paul.
Yeah, Luke, and this place is buzzing with anticipation to try to figure out what is the status of their bill. And we are officially less than an hour away until we find out what the results are going to be of all the bills that they haven't voted on. If it is passed, it is going to go to the Governor Newsom's office to see if he will sign or not. But if it doesn't, it is going to die on the House floor. So we're trying to figure that out. But the biggest buzz in this building were bills that weren't voted on, like funding reparations. The final hours of the California legislative session kicking into overdrive as lawmakers try to get their bills approved. On Sunday, lawmakers passed landmark bills to make amends for racism. The proposal they approved allows for the return of land or compensation to families whose property was unfairly taken by the government, and an informal apology for laws and practices that harmed Black people. But the buzz surrounding the reparation bills package was over what wasn't addressed: direct payments.
We laid the foundation that those bills are critically important to, stand up what reparations would be here in the state of California.
State Senator Stephen Bradford authored SB 1403, aims to establish the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, while SB 1331 funds reparations. Both were not voted on.
We should have gotten it to the governor's desk. He never signaled he would veto the bill. He just said he had some concerns, as they have with many bills. So, but that doesn't mean you don't move forward with the bills.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Gavin Newsom allegedly wanted to have different legislation. He actually wanted them to pass legislation that would fund reparations, right? So this was the finesse. This is the political finesse, okay? He says, well, no, I don't really want to actually fund reparations, okay? I don't want to put my money where my mouth is at. I want to give about $5 to $7 trillion or so to some state university to continue to study reparations, aka to pay off the woke academics to keep studying reparations, right? They've been studying it for years, right? But they still haven't figured out what they need to figure out yet in order to actually put their money where their mouth is, which they never will do, okay? They're never going to do it. But, you know, this is what Gavin Newsom
needs more work.
The bills that pass are not reparations. An apology is not reparations.
Chris Lodgeson, a reparation activist with Coalition for Just and Equitable California.
The only bills today that even had a chance of being called reparations or to even get us to reparations are the bills that did not pass. It's one thing if we go for a vote and we lose. Oh, all right. It's one thing if we go for a vote, we win, and it gets to the governor's desk and the governor vetoes it.
Supporters of the reparations say they're not giving up despite the setback.
It has to happen if we were going to have meaningful reparations to the people who deserve it. We're 160 years overdue for this.
And just a few hours ago, there was a glimmer of hope that those two bills that were not heard, they would be heard, but that hope quickly evaporated. So a lot of people that were protesting here disappointed with that outcome. Now, another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony.
SB 1414. This is what I want y'all to write down and highlight, that they're trying to protect and make sure that passes. Now, this bill that you finna hear, because I'm finna rewind it so you can hear the code and everything, shocks me that we even, California, yet again, this is California for you.
Another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child for sex. That is what we're waiting on over this next hour to see how the House.
Project 14, SB 1414, to make it a felony to buy a minor for sex. Right now, I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking to myself and I'm looking at the world and I'm like, okay. So you're trying to tell me in California, before this even happens, because we don't know what happens yet, we got to do the follow-up. It was legal to buy kids, minors, for sex in California. I'm going to repeat myself. It was legal to buy minors for sex in California. We had to make a bill so something like this would not pass. Yes, I have a small problem with this. This is what I'll be talking about when I be like, we have a problem. We have our priorities in the wrong spot. I'm going to play this one more time because I don't think y'all really heard what he said. It shocked me. Play this one more time for y'all. Really want y'all to hear this.
Disappointed with that outcome. Now, another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child for sex. That is what we're waiting on over.
I have 100% a problem with that, bros. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Why is it legal to buy minors in California? Now, 95210 is a big representative of California. He's definitely not going to be able to explain that to me. I'm definitely going to have to play this over for him more than one time. Definitely going to have to play this over more than one time for him. Yes, y'all. to the beat, y'all, and it don't stop. I really sit up here thinking like, damn. Let's go. Is it legal to buy minors? Uh-oh. See, this is what I thought they were gonna let me do. That's what I thought they were gonna let me do. Is it legal to buy minors in California?
According to KCRA, currently, purchasing or soliciting a child for sex is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of up to a year in jail or a minimum of 2 days in jail, along with a $10,000 fine.
Currently, right now, to buy a minor in California is a misdemeanor, a year in jail, and a $10,000 fine. Oh my God. That's how sick we gonna play it, huh? I probably got friends and family that probably tell me, oh no, you lying, Mike. It's not like that. You can Google this one. In California, it is a misdemeanor. So what do we, can I even ask anybody? What type of question? What's the follow-up question? What would y'all think would be the follow-up question? How many cases like this are actually happening in California? How many other states have this same agenda? I wasn't prepared for this. I am lost for words. I am shocked, appalled, disappointed. California Senator Bill 1414 moves forward. Some changes made. So the bill we just talked about, my guy right here, it moved forward, but some changes were made. It's like, what year? I don't even know how to ask this question, but it's a question that needs to be asked. What year did touching on minors become legal or not a felony? Not something serious to make it punishable, to make you understand, stop messing with other people's children. We had the TV show Law and Order, SUV, Victims Unit. We had Predators. We got all these movies and TV shows that try to explain to everybody, yo, this is not right. This is not what we need. This is not the type of environment that we want. For our troops. I'm really sitting up here like, wow. Next question. Is it legal to buy minors in the United States of America? It is really hard to get alcohol under 21 in you. It's not going to answer my question. Is it legal to buy underage kids in the United States of America?
According to Department of Justice, Section 2251A punishes any parent, legal guardian, or other person with rights of custody or control over a minor who sells or otherwise transfers control of such minor with knowledge that the minor will be used to depict sexually explicit conduct or with the intent of promoting the minor in sexually explicit conduct.
So it's punishable, but it's not no real charge. It's not no felony. It's not something that's really go hinder them later on down the road. Basically. Okay. Like the next question, I guess, is it a misdemeanor? Shall I be specific? Is it a misdemeanor to buy a kid underage in America for sex? Because we know it is in California. We know it is in California. It's a misdemeanor right now as we speak. That P. Diddy case that's going on, and everybody's abused and somehow like that. I really want to know. I really want to go after him only if it was more like this, underage. Because like you said, it's a misdemeanor. So if he got any cases that's done in California, so we did catch P. Diddy in California, underage touching on somebody, it's only going to be looked at as a misdemeanor. Like, it's a slap on the wrist. So yes, I wouldn't expect no hard charges. I don't expect nothing to get filed. I don't expect nothing to get done in California. Now I'm sitting up here looking at Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, like, man, this is not a problem. This is not an issue. This is not what we been expecting from you. So is it wrong for me to say I'm lost? Are we headed out, kids? Like, that is this $1 trillion industry? You got X releasing Epstein's cases of a bunch of people that went to his island and did things underage and unwillingly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna play it one more time before I go to my next subject, so y'all really understand. Like, when I heard this, I was like, I don't care about reparations.
Quickly evacuated. So a lot of people that were protesting here disappointed with that outcome. Now, another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child for sex. That is what we're waiting on over this next hour to see how the House is going to vote. But it's going to be a long 55 minutes that are remaining to see which bill.
I want to know. We should want to know, like, who made it a misdemeanor? It's like something in my eye. Which one of you governors Which governor in California made it a misdemeanor to buy minors? What year was it a misdemeanor to buy minors for sex? Y'all will believe what I think I'm reading. (1967) Selling or buying children, section 2251A. 1966, sexual population of children. 1968, actions relate. So basically, sex trafficking kids touched court, so-called, in California in 1967. So whereabout of misdemeanors versus children has been going on since the 60s, the late 60s. So predatorization took full force out here in Cali. People are running to Cali. Oh, all in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on and so on. How many states consider buying minors a misdemeanor? See, every time I ask this question, they always want to go to some alcohol, and I don't want to keep saying buying it for sex. Like next thing you know, the FBI and all will be kicking it off. He trying to buy kids. Like no. I think it's disgusting that I'm even having this conversation, but I seen it and I played it, and I want to know why it's happening. Who let it vote it? Why is we letting this stuff pass? This the investigation out of everything that I've been investigating. Politics. I think this is the number one investigation that really I should be paying attention to and deep diving into. Because I guarantee right now I'm understanding that it's different in every state. But every state, I guarantee. Do St. Louis, Missouri consider buying minors for sex a misdemeanor or felony? Underage under 17, legal. It's not enough. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor? That's all I want to know. What felony? Sexual, selling and buying medicine. Missed a minute. It don't say, y'all. Yet again, okay. It's different in every state. And some states are willing to hide the truth. I need to figure it. I'm gonna find this out. I don't know. Should we go deeper into this? I'm not sure. I'm curious, just like y'all. Should I just move on to another subject? Is they gonna be conspiracy theorists? Because this is everybody's worst nightmare. Every parent worst nightmare. This is why it was easy to throw electronic up in your kid's face, not knowing that it made it easier for a predator to not have to go outside as much. They can just sit at home. So while your kids sit at home, they sit at home. And then they monitor and watch your kids and watch his action. And they looking for kids that parents are really not around. They probably done hacked your kids' iPad and they look in and like, oh yeah. In other news, y'all, I watched the WNBA sports today. It went down. Caitlin Clark bust ass against the Dallas. It was not just busting ass, but it was a good game all the way through. Very good game. Chicago falls again. Chicago Sky falls again. Aces put on a dominant performance against the Suns. Telling you, y'all, this has been the most electrifying season. A commentator during the game gave a shout out to Caitlin Clark, told people quit hating, gave Caitlin Clark the MVP Rookie of the Year, also gave her the in talks to be MVP of the league at what she did. Just in talks. She should be in talk. It was a very good game, very dominated game from the Aces, though. I love what I seen out there on the court. Nah, I don't break down videos like that like I normally do. I just like sit on here talking with you guys. You know how we do. I like to just break down. Look, but since they be monetized, I'm just gonna go and give y'all a little bit of the interview of the Indiana Fever and what they did.
What are your thoughts on the team's potential areas of focus and just continue growing, throughout this transition period, just trying to get to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think our focus is just finding ways to get a little bit better every day, taking what we need from this game, because we're going to face them again in a week and a half, and these guys are just growing together, building confidence in each other, building confidence on the defensive end. I think just some things that are happening that are, when we weren't successful at certain things we were trying early, and now we're finding some success in those things. It's just an overall, it gives them confidence in when we're making adjustments on the fly to try to, Enrique and Satu they shot the hell out of the ball today. I mean, they had some big shots, but we just stayed with it. I mean, there's some shots that those guys make that you just got to be like, hey, good shot, get on, now it's our turn. And we kept matching them with baskets, which was good. I thought AB came in, she, had a hard time getting started early. She came in at the half, we went to her, but her defense was really good. I thought her defense was excellent. And then just the other posts that came in were Melissa Smith was awesome in the first half. I mean, she did some good stuff. She kind of set the tone for us, and then we just kind of flowed.
Caitlin and Kelsey combined for, I think it was 63 points today. And they've been doing that a lot after the Olympic break. Just what has been working for them, and how has that given them confidence?
Yeah, I think both of them get a lot of open looks, our freedom because of each other, because of the attention that they draw. And so that's allowing them to be open when at times, last year, Kelsey really had to fight for a lot of shots that she was getting. But right now, if she's open and going into finding a window when the defense is collapsing or
going on in the backcourt for you two?
I think that me and Kaylin, as well as our group, I think we just found a way to, for one, understand and know one another. But I think our pace is just kind of setting us apart from a lot of different teams because we like to get, the ball up and down the court at such a high pace. And I think the way that we play this kind of it just makes our games thrive even more, I think, in a way.
Kate, and you just walked in, but I just asked Kelsey, the two of you combined for 60+ points. You both hit 5 threes. 54% shooting. I mean, what's working in the backcourt between you two?
I think just playing fast, playing off one another. I think that's probably the biggest thing. And, when you have two guards that are both making plays, it puts the other team in tough position of, what to take away, who to put on who. So I feel like we're definitely shooting it well. We're playing off each other well. We're looking for each other. And we're getting downhill too. So I think it's been a good balance of everything.
And my last question for Caitlin was, this is your 7th game, 2010 double-double. I mean, how much do you feel like you've developed as a point guard? Your first preseason game was here, so now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I just understand the game better, more comfortable with my teammates, more comfortable on the floor. I think just playing a little more free. I think being more aggressive. I think all of that kind of combined.
Caitlin, how does it feel coming in tonight? You broke another record, always breaking records. You came in with 594 points. Your 595th point made you pass Tamika Catches in front of Cynthia Cruz.
Congrats,
how does it feel?
I mean, I think it's obviously cool, but at the same time, I feel like we play basketball the right way, and then that's just kind of comes along with it. And it's fun. We've been winning. That's what makes all of this so much better. I feel like we're just playing such better basketball than we were, even a month ago before the break. It just feels like our chemistry's better. It just feels like everything flows a little bit better. It just feels better. I think as a basketball player, it's something you can feel when you're out there. The flow just seems really good. We're just playing off of one another. So, it's cool. Obviously, there's been a lot of really good players that put on this jersey, and to be up there with some of them, it's special.
So, game still, how's that confidence?
Man, it was a good game, y'all. And seeing something phenomenal, seeing all the people that actually be coming out to these games, seeing the I think the biggest thing that I take away from it that I guess I like to see is the fact that when Caitlin Clark be on the road, her fan base is louder than the home crowd. I can't help but love seeing that stuff. That shit is cool and amazing. Because you really don't hear that. I never heard that too much anywhere. I really did. College football is taking off. I almost forgot to talk about them. College football is taking off. First week is in the books. Also, NFL starts, Thursday? NFL starts Thursday. This is something I bet you're not going to hear. I just want to play this. I know I really don't like playing other people's content, but stuff like this, I'm not going to see no other word but here. This is the only way I'm going to get this information and stuff like this. This is talking about Tim Walsh, y'all. Tim Walsh is the VP, and it's been all type of little kind of weird allegations going on. This the Michelle Megyn Kelly show with some veterans, where I can find that. This is definitely probably her sitting down with some veterans. Have a discussion real quick about Tim Walsh, I bet.
Forward.
It is morally indefensible. He didn't care. It was all about him. He's a military impersonator.
I don't understand how he could do it morally, or you got absolutely no integrity.
The rumor went across the state that he had quit, and it was like, who the hell does that? I mean, it was just unbelievable that a CSM abandoned his troops, 500 soldiers basically. But beyond that, there's 1,000 parents out there that expect that person to lead those people into combat.
He's a habitual liar. He lies about everything. He lies about stuff that doesn't make sense. You're taking a piece of their thunder and you're trying to capture it and put it in a bottle for yourself and use that for your own benefit.
He basically said, I've got better things to do. Let's go pick somebody else to go on a mission. But if you sold out your guard unit and abandoned them, I mean, what are you going to do at the national level?
These are military guys, but that's not what we want to say. That's not what we want to say. This is
from an underground tunnel in Gaza on Saturday. The IDF has identified all 6 bodies, which include Israeli-American Hersh Goldbid Poland. The Israeli defense minister said the hostages were killed just before troops could reach them.
According to the initial assessment at our disposal, they were brutally murdered by Hamas terrorists a short while before we reached them. They were abducted alive on the morning of October 7th by the Hamas terror organization.
Hamas is blaming Israel for the deaths. A Hamas spokesman said the hostages were killed by Israel's bombing of Gaza without giving specifics. Now, a group representing the families of Israeli hostages is calling for Prime Minister Netanyahu to address the nation and, quote, take responsibility for abandoning the hostages. Netanyahu released a taped statement this morning blaming Hamas for the murders of the hostages and accused them of not wanting a ceasefire deal.
Yeah, so you see now, you heard that. Okay, now President Biden has spoken out on this, okay, and he's basically blaming Hamas, although Hamas is saying that no, this was Israel's fault. They died due to Israel bombing the area too much, okay, but Israel's saying no, they were executed before we could find them, okay, and that is what happened. So, according to Joe Biden, the United States is siding with Netanyahu and his version of the story. And Tim Walsh, who is running for vice president, is going to be asked about this situation, and he's going to run away immediately.
Well, hey, everybody. For those not from Minnesota, just to be clear, there's a lot of great state fairs in the country. This is the best one. And I say that having tried pork chops in Iowa and been at other ones, but great state fair, great tradition with Princess Kay of the Milky Way. Agriculture is still king in Minnesota. You see that many of these folks are going to participate in agribusiness over their lifetimes that we need here in Minnesota. So it's a great state fair. Glad to have you all out here enjoying every bit of it, and started the day with pork chop and vanilla shake. So it's great. So thanks, everybody. The question was how much has changed from the last state fair. I don't get 12 days, which I normally get. A little bit more of a disruption, and I'm more concerned, obviously, disruption to the other folks. But it's exciting. I think people are seeing that we're getting to talk about Minnesota across the country, talk about the economy here, talk about things like the state fair, talk about agriculture. That's been really exciting.
How are you balancing managing the state of Minnesota and running for president?
Yeah, I got a good team on the being able to manage my schedule. We appointed 3 great judges last week in Ramsey County, as you saw. Every night we go through all of the decision memos and meeting with the commissioners. I stay updated throughout the day, and I'm in and out. Most of my time is day out and then back in.
Governor, how are you feeling?
What's your reaction to the 6 hostages being found dead in Gaza?
Thanks, everybody.
Wow. Wow. So another terrible moment of cowardice from Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Okay, because this guy was clearly taking questions, right? He was taking questions, and as soon as he got one hard question, he was like, you know what? Nope, interview over, right? It's not like he immediately left, okay, after the second question. He was open to taking that third question until he heard that, oh, wait, this is a topic that I can't talk about as a Democrat, right? Because as a Democrat, according to the far left, it is a terrible thing to condemn Hamas in the sense that, they conducted the attack on October 7th.
This is what you're not going to see on mainstream media that be happening to the vice president while they out on the road campaigning. You're not going to see nothing about that. You're not going to hear nothing about that. I could have sat up here and played plenty of news stories. Even Fox, you know how I play a lot of Fox, CNN, NBC, especially now that they done got hyped up in their political attributes to the campaign. Now I kind of see why people say all this. She's not going to help try to stop the kid trafficking problem that's going on. Y'all think? That's still playing softly in the back of my mind because yet again, she came from California. Nobody's talking about that. SB 1212. I think I said it wrong. Yeah. There's going to be a war on our streets due to a fact of another country's outburst and cry to stop a war. There's going to be war on our streets just because of an outcry to stop a war that's going on in another country. We have criminal gangs taking over complexes. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about my pothead family. Y'all don't think I'll be thinking about y'all. Sorry, I'll be having hard, deep conversations with people. But I think about y'all. Y'all legalizing marijuana. You're able to grow some good weed in your crib. We just now starting to understand the stock market, how it work, how it function, property value, and stuff like that. Get it. I get it. Just thinking to myself, like, man, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? What type of war we want to fight here in America? And I get it. Most of people would say, man, why can't we just get it all? We should be able to afford whatever we want to afford, start jobs, businesses, all that stuff should be easy, open-minded, simplified for us American citizens. Should be easy for us. Reparations should be easy to get for us. if we want safer streets, this kid sex trafficking should not be happening. Period. I'm just shocked and amazed that this really is happening and going down in our streets. Like, man, what are we really focusing on? We really want safer streets. But if this crime happens, think about this crime happens in another state, but yet again they get caught in California and they get prosecuted in California. Because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get prosecuted in California. It's going to be a misdemeanor. The confusion with stuff like that. They're able to look up laws and stuff like that. And then, I know if I had my pen on her, they'd be like, oh, wait, man. Okay, who signed off on this stuff? Who actually sat there and thought of the bill and thought to put this in? Because that's the person that I want to specifically know so we can specifically go after, so we can specifically try to lock them up. I'm not getting it. I don't understand. I know y'all not amazed. It's not something that on y'all little radar. I get it. It shouldn't have to be. You should be able to live your lives just like you're doing, safely. Enjoying the beautiful time with your kids, loved ones, enjoying every day as you should. But the fathers, the men out there, I know y'all keeping it in the back of your mind. Like they're out there. These people are they're hunters. They're hunting the most weakest people in America, our children. And I would have never thought there were laws crazy enough to be out here and say, like, yeah, we're allowing people to get I can't believe California, 1 year in jail, ladies and gentlemen. For people that are catching up, just tuning in, just coming in. I just found out in California that it's a misdemeanor if you get caught buying or selling a child. In California, it's a misdemeanor. 1 year in jail and a $10,000 up to $10,000 fine. I'm like, that's disgusting. And right now, there's a bill in California to turn it into a felony, which it should have been a long time ago. And not just no 1 year in jail. I'm sorry. I don't care what side of this game that you play. If you play the seller or the buyer, He should at least be getting 10 or better. 10 or better. Minimum 10. You have to you mentally knew what you were doing. You mentally knew what you were doing and how you wanted to go along with this. So you can't sit up here and tell me that California, that y'all put this into place for who? And everybody that's in the middle class, lower class, have the right to say, oh man, they put it in for their buddies, Michael. Capiche? Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Republicans and Democrats. You got a point there. You have a point there. Because that's what it looks like. It's been in y'all first discussions about any of this was back in the 60s. 1967. Y'all thought like, oh my God, let's put laws in to protect or discriminate against people that buy and sell kids. Yes, I can't let this go. I can't let this go because it's we was talking about this early in the P. Diddy case. When P. Diddy first showed up, that was the first thing I was on. And yet again, people had their other cases they was dropping of just getting drug and sexual abuse. But I was really looking for underage and the predatization of selling and buying kids. P. Diddy Epstein Island Part 2, the black version, the BET version. But yeah, I got a problem. We're not looking at the situation like, oh, we're just loving his music. No, this man is buying and selling and abusing and all what it is, or what it ain't, or what it is. I don't want it to ever come down to no situations where somebody I know or somebody that I'm watching is involved. Somebody that watch my show, I don't want them to be involved in this. I want us to stand up and try to protect each other from this because this is real. For everybody that's coming, just coming. Let me play this for y'all. Even though I talked a little bit about the Gaza, but this is where all this come from. Who's more worried about something? Reparation. I was like, reparations. More worried about what I just heard right here.
Is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child, or they would be heard, but that hope quickly evaporated. So a lot of people that were protesting here disappointed with that outcome. Now, another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child for sex. That is what we're waiting on over this next hour to see how the House is going to vote. But
This is what we waiting on. To see how the House is going to vote. and they only got this. Hold on, y'all.
Live over the state capitol, where the legislative session is wrapping up tonight, and lawmakers are deciding the fate of bills that haven't passed yet. We're just minutes away until the California legislative session comes to a close. Both houses had fewer than 200 bills combined left to go through. Some of the bills dealing with reparations. ABC 10's Garsh Balsanga joining us live from the state capitol to explain more on this very busy day. We still see people behind you in the rotunda there, Garsh Bal.
Yeah, Luke, and this place is buzzing with anticipation to try to figure out what is the status of their bill. And we are officially less than an hour away until we find out what the results are going to be of all the bills that they haven't voted on. If it is passed, it is going to go to the Governor Newsom's office to see if he will sign or not. But if it doesn't, it is going to die on the House floor. So we're trying to figure that out. But the biggest buzz in this building were bills that weren't voted on, like funding reparations. The final hours of the California legislative session kicking into overdrive as lawmakers try to get their bills approved. On Sunday, lawmakers passed landmark bills to make amends for racism. The proposal they approved allows for the return of land or compensation to families whose property was unfairly taken by the government, and an informal apology for laws and practices that harmed Black people. But the buzz surrounding the reparation bills package was over what wasn't addressed: direct payments.
We laid the foundation that those bills are critically important to, stand up what reparations would be here in the state of California.
State Senator.
Yet again, they were more about reparations than the fact that SB 1414 is going to make your kids a misdemeanor to be sold. Damn, they're making it legal.
Stephen Bradford authored SB 1403, aims to establish the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, while SB 1331 funds reparations. Both were not voted on.
We should have gotten it to the governor's desk. He never signaled he would veto the bill. He just said he had some concerns.
Yet again, what I showed you from old, nothing else about the true facts of this bill. That's crazy.
For people who purchase a child for sex had its first hearing. And today at the state capitol, an effort to increase the penalties for people who purchase a child for sex had its first hearing.
And while the bill passed out of its committee, its author is not very happy right now. KCRA 3's Ty Still joins us now to.
You would think, I would thought, and sorry if I'm, but these are two females talking about 1414. Buying children. You do this on purpose to put females up here, and they have to read this with a straight face, no emotions, can't give out their point of views and nothing. Like, bam, Bill 1414 is getting moved forward. When was this again? 4 months ago? So 4 months ago is actually to talk about something that happened today where we won't get no answers.
Its author is not very happy right now. KCRA 3's Ty Still joins us now to walk us through what happened, Ty.
Yeah, this is making national headlines right now. An adult soliciting a minor for sex in California is a misdemeanor. Senate Bill 1440 would make it a felony. The author of the...
I'm glad, like he said, this should get national headlines. This should get national headlines. This should be plastered everywhere. I just had to add another thing up in here just because I just started talking about this. So therefore, when they record, they can just get it from here. But this should be national headline. This should be on top of the ballot list of every discussion in all 50 states to make sure that our streets are safe. I don't think y'all understand how pivotal this is. Okay, so I'm gonna start all over. Just added a whole new group. This is 4 months ago where they actually talked about this bill, but it hit the it was supposed to be up for vote for today.
And today at the state capitol, an effort to increase the penalties for people who purchase a child for sex had its first hearing.
And while the bill passed out of its committee, its author is not very happy right now. KCRA 3's Ty Still joins us now to walk us through what happened, Ty.
Yeah, this is making national headlines right now. An adult soliciting a minor for sex in California is a misdemeanor. Senate Bill 1440 would make it a felony. The author of the bill is Republican State Senator Shannon Grove. The original proposed law would make it a felony for anyone who solicits sex from a minor. The proposed punishment would be up to 4 years in prison and up to a $25,000 fine. Grove.
What? This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, I'm feeling that as a felony, but 4 years in prison is not long for you selling a child. A parent is not going to look at that 4 years, $25,000 fine, and wish that $25,000 fine is going to go to the state for having to put up this case. It's not going to go back to help building that family in the laws that they had for however how long that their children was gone. I think that's what it more should be. How long was the child gone? No. We shouldn't be soft. It should be 10 years, 20. I don't care about the fine. $20,000 fine, $50,000 fine. Yeah. But it should be 10 years or better. You knew what you were doing. You knew the facts of the fact. And y'all, the only reason I'm getting deep up in this, the only reason I'm talking to y'all for real, the only reason I'm going crazy like this, because if this starts in California, it's going to reach other states. If this for SB 1414 don't even pass in California, I don't hear nobody else talking about this. So I feel special. Nobody talking about this. And like I said, we've been talking about this for a while since the P. Diddy case. I wanted the P. Diddy case to be more about stuff like this. So therefore, we can start opening the people's eyes to what's really going on when it's talking about kid trafficking. And yes, I'm in Nevada, and I bet you it's just even worse. Like I said, I would want a 10-year plan, $50,000 fine, felony, yes, for buying and registering sex offenders. I'm cool with that. I'm just not cool with that 4 year. That 4 years is soft. Person get up in prison and try to do some good behavior, then it's 2.5 years. Come on, y'all. We know how the justice system works. I'm not finna sit up here and bullcrap nobody.
Grove also proposes to have the buyers register as sex offenders for 10 years. The bill was in a hearing before the Senate Public Committee, and there was a disagreement on some of the language of the bill. Grove rejected the amendments. Those amendments make it so that the law does not apply to those who buy a 16 or 17-year-old for sex, and it would only apply if the victim was 15 or younger, and the most severe penalties only apply to adults.
Yet again, see, this is that slippery slope of can't stop a pimp for soliciting women out on the streets. This is that slippery slope of these pimps and hoes. And with that slippery slope of pimps and hoes, you got stuff like this that is going on that Oh my God. I can't get past. I need to know about this in all 50 states. What is we trying to do? Because I believe, this is the first start of how we get back the streets, how we protect our kids for the future. Let me finish this.
This bill goes well beyond human trafficking, and I think human trafficking, we should be throwing the book at people. This bill will sweep in a lot of people who are not trafficking. This bill will send people to state prison, put people in the sex offender registry, which is basically effectively, in many ways, the end of their life for people, whether or not they're engaged in human trafficking. And again, even if there's no physical contact whatsoever.
To water this down to say that 16, 17-year-olds don't matter, that them being, and it's not just about human trafficking, and I think that's the disconnect. I believe that human trafficking is anything that is forcing someone to do something against their will. This buyer situation is a random person driving down the road, seeing a kid that looks like they're 12 or 13 and say, hey, $50 for this. That's the guy I want to go after.
Now, despite the objection by Senator Grove, who you just heard from there, the committee.
I want to go after anybody who wants to sit up in here.
Penalties only apply to adults.
I want to go after anybody who wants to sit up in here. And yes, take the time out to go find kids, snatch them up off the streets. I don't care I don't care. I'm like what the man said. We should be technically throwing the book at these people. We so worried about petty crime. We so worried about not able to afford groceries, to where we're so blinded, we're so busy, we're so overwhelmed that bills like this, problems like this are going to get overlooked because we're so tired. Bills like this got overlooked on today's news coverage because we were so covered it up by covering it over with reparations. SB 1414 was a bill that I just want to ask y'all a question. What's more important, reparations or the safety of your children? Is that a fair question to ask? Is that going too overboard? Is that what? Am I getting too deep? Too deep off up in these streets? Or in this political world who has what y'all call a white man's hold over us? They gonna do what they want to do. No, they just make bills and laws and stuff. And when you finally want to figure it out, you don't want to truly figure it out. We don't want to figure it out. I don't have a lot of kids. I got one. To think about this, this was 4 months ago. I got something. This next one, news coverage, is a month ago.
Passed in the Assembly Public Safety Committee would increase penalties for sex trafficking. The North States News' Hannah Gutierrez is in Chico with the details. Hannah.
Thank you, Mike. Senator Shannon Grove, a Republican from Bakersfield, authored SB 1414, which passed the committee with some important changes. The bill was originally presented to make soliciting and engaging in any commercial sex with a minor a felony, as the crime is currently a misdemeanor. However, amendments to the bill by committee Democrats have changed the bill to exclude 16 and 17-year-olds from the protection. The amendment would require them to be proven victims of trafficking in order for the perpetrator to be charged. Despite this, Senator Grove says she plans on continuing to fight for the protection of all minors.
I'm glad that we're still moving the bill forward so we can have further conversations to protect 16 and 17-year-olds. I am not going to give up fighting for those 16 and 17-year-olds. All minors should be protected.
Reparations is more important than fighting this fight right here to protect our kids.
From those that purchase children from sex, that want to buy sex from children.
Under the bill, offenders could face felony imprisonment in the county jail for anywhere between 16 months and 3 years, which would impose a state-mandated local program if enacted. The bill is set to be heard by the Assembly Appropriations Committee this August. For now, reporting live in Chico, Hannah Gutierrez with North States News.
A Senate bill recently.
Yet again, it was today. It was today, and it got overlooked. It got covered and overlooked by reparations bill that didn't even make it. Yet again, we have problems like this in Colorado, which is different. But yet again, it's just adding to it.
Today showing a huge problem with what some are calling gang violence at an apartment complex in Aurora. The video shows men entering an apartment building with several weapons and then busting down a door.
And all of this taking place at the apartments, which had become a crime hotspot in that city. Fox 31's Vicente Arenas was at that complex today as people were moving out, fearing for their safety. Vicente is joining us live from that complex with a closer look at that eye-opening video, Vicente.
It is eye-opening, Erica. It is significant because this is the first time we've actually seen what has been happening inside that apartment complex at different times. This video, there's two different clips you're about to see. One of them, people carrying guns, and another where two people are just trying to break down a door.
The video shows a group of men walking up a stairwell at the Edge Lowry apartment complex in Aurora. All of them appear to be carrying rifles and handguns, and the video shot earlier this month. One of the men can be seen talking on a cell phone. They all then gather around a door and go in. Another video clip shows men forcing a door open. They all then gather around a door and go in. Another video clip shows men forcing a door open. But what or who they were searching for, not clear. The video was shot in the building where Cindy and Edward Romero lived until today. They loaded up their stuff and moved out.
It's been a nightmare and I can't wait to get out of here.
This is how Cindy used to lock her front door.
Every day when we come home, we have to do this. Every time we go outside to take out the garbage, every time we try to go to bed at night, we have to keep it like this so nobody can kick in the door.
The couple's car and many others here were riddled with bullets after a shootout at the complex earlier this month. The Romeros say the trouble started when a large number of migrants began moving in. They had not been able to move out
for different reasons.
We couldn't get any. We tried reaching out to the resources, but they told us since it wasn't actually a condemned building, we would have to wait until that was the issue, but we didn't want to wait for that. So the only help I got was after talking to you.
We showed Councilmember Danielle Jurinsky the video. Today, she helped the couple move out and find a new place to live.
The city nonprofits have lined up to help the migrants that have come here, but nobody is helping the American citizens, the residents that are trapped.
The American citizens that are trapped. The government, the Biden administration, countless of times have shown you who their favorites are, have shown you countless of times who their favorites are. Got a guy up there that wants to fight, wants to safen our streets, and yet again, we want to throw him in jail. This is deep. This is really actually happened. This is not no comic book. This is not make believe. This is not no. You know why this is not making an act? Because it's not national coverage. You know what I'm saying? You're not hearing about this story. You heard about the knocking at the doors and the people, yes. Because it broke the internet. But you're not hearing about the people that actually want to move and who's helping and why it's helping. And where's the governor? Where's the mayor? They can't do nothing. Oh, because they're asylum seekers. Okay.
In these apartment complexes.
The Romeros tell us others.
Yeah, I know this going to keep happening during the Kamala administration, right? Man, I know a person I wish they was watching my show so bad because they'd be like, oh, no, it ain't. It's not going. Yes, this is. This is going to keep going. This is going to keep going.
Living here had been asking when they'd be moving out.
And this isn't just Americans. This is other Venezuelans that are living under this control, that are being extorted by the control of this gang.
While we were on the property today, even before we left, we were told other people were moving in and taking over the Romero's unit.
We did speak to the mayor's office this afternoon. They sent us a statement saying that so far there are no code enforcement violations taking place at this complex. The mayor's office also responding in part for the Aurora Police Department. They're telling us that the police department here has seen that video that we just showed you. There is a lot more to this story. We'll be covering it in the days to come. Reporting live outside the municipal building in Aurora, Vicente Arenas, Fox 31.
It is a situation.
The fact that they said there's a lot more going on to this story, like they know, yeah, oh yeah, we know about them. We know about those guys. We know what they've been doing. We know what they're up to. We know how they've been out here chilling. We know that. Yeah, I'm curious. I am curious. What are we missing? What are we missing? I'm up here talking about we're going forward, but then I still see bigger and bigger problems. I just wonder think to myself, What a wonderful world. I found the perfect video, ladies and gentlemen, to keep this. And when I mean to keep this going along, I promise y'all to keep this going along. So Nancy Pelosi came on here on the Bill Maher show and she spoke out about what we seen. Sect her words and see what she's saying, how legislationally it's been poorly motivated in this system that we call America. Let's see which way it's going.
Moving stuff in your book about an issue that we've all read about, and it has to do with literally having physical fear for what you do. And you're amazingly strong about it. I mean, you've obviously had that horrible break-in in your house, and your husband attacked. They tried to get you on January 6th. There was a lot of, where's Nancy? And people are now going to jail for it. It was on that level. And I just would like to say to the people who I hear it all the time, who talk about, oh, we're moving toward civil war. Well, in a way, we're kind of already there. You know, when people are literally fearing physically for themselves, do you still fear physically?
Well, let me just say, I signed up for this. And as
For that part of it?
Well, I signed up for the public arena. As note that I'm quoting a Republican president. Teddy Roosevelt said, when you're in the arena, you're no longer a spectator. And I said to colleagues and people interested in running, when you are in that arena, you got to be ready to take a punch. You got to be ready to throw a punch for the children, for the children.
I would.
So I wasn't fearful that day for me because as Speaker, your second in line to the White House, you have security. I was concerned about my colleagues. I was concerned about the press who were there. I was concerned about the custodians who keep the Capitol what it is, beautiful for visitors. I was concerned about the staff. I resented what they did to traumatize the staff. I'll never forgive them for that. And same thing with my own situation personally. They came to my home and to our home, made it a crime scene, attacked my husband, nearly killed him, and they were looking for me. So I certainly have guilt about that. But you know what? We have to take our country back to where a place is you can disagree without being fearful for your life. And that of your family. And that of your family. Many times when I'm encouraging people to run, especially more women, to run for office, nothing more wholesome than our political process than that. Aren't we excited about?
Yes, and sometimes you're discouraging people to run. We're not going to get into that.
No,
whatever.
People make their own decisions.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for what you didn't do.
I thought this was it. Where is the continuation? It seemed like when he make Democrats look bad, it seemed like he do take their videos down. So she got made look bad, and now I can't find her video. Freaking crazy. That's all y'all gonna have with her, just that 3 little minutes. No more of the interview. Do y'all see this? Y'all looking just like me too.
Thank you very much.
And then he gonna put it all just him in the front. So we don't, you know what? That's okay. It makes sense when certain people don't shine and good enough for you, and they make themselves look like, take it down, Bill Maher. I sounded stupid. So they took it down. We work every day. We want our streets safe. We want our kids safe. We want a better opportunity to make a come up. We don't want our mayors taking our taxpayer dollars and using it for personal gain. Just a simple thing like we want a president who thinks about everybody, just not one community. We want police officers able to protect themselves. Maybe not get full immunity like people want, but a way for them to get justified if they commit a crime. I don't think it's too hard to ask for these things. I really don't. I'm gonna get off here, y'all. Cause I just feel like I'm gonna be talking about this all night, and I don't want to bother y'all or ridicule y'all all night. It's been a good time. I appreciate y'all. Until next time. Good night.